Hey everybody, JTISREBORN here, and welcome to another edition of my Batman the Animated Series reviews. This time we're going to be taking a look at episode number 60, The Demon's Quest, Part 1. Okay, so this is the first episode where Ra's al Ghul is at the centerfold of it all. So, I mean, let's talk about it, because he made his first appearance 10 episodes ago in the episode Off Balance. It was a small little cameo at the end of the episode. We had an introduction with Batman and Talia al Ghul, and in this one, he's at this, the center, the forefront of the whole episode. And really, like, this episode has, like, a little bit of a different pace to it than, other episodes of Batman the Animated Series. So, let's see how it starts out. The episode actually doesn't begin with a title card immediately. It begins... Robin, he's at, wherever he's at, he's off to college, he was doing his Robin thing, he's just getting back to his room, and then he gets kidnapped. So, it's kind of mysterious, it's all silhouetted, it's all, like, hidden in the shadows, we don't know who exactly did it, but he's been kidnapped, he goes, and then, these people, like, you see this weird dude wearing this, like, Anubis mask, and we don't know who it is exactly. I mean, if you're familiar with the episode, it's pretty obvious who it is, but, if you haven't seen it, you don't know who it is. But anyways, so he's taken, and then after he's taken, we get the title card, Demon's Quest Part 1. Batman's been out for a few days, like nobody's seen Dick Grayson or Robin in 2 days. Then all of a sudden, Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, or Mr. Ghul, however you want to pronounce it, shows up, and he's off to, tell Batman, like, he's with his servant Ubu, and he informs him that, like, Talia and Robin have been captured by the same people, and then Batman uses his detective skills to go and find them, and then he also has a servant Ubu, and there's a funny running gag going on throughout the episode where he's just like, whenever Batman tries to, like, walk past Ra's al Ghul first, Ubu always, like, tries to, like, shoves him and pushes him out of the way. He's just like, Master goes first, Master goes that, and he's like, Batman's like, strike one. So then they go to Malaysia, and then Batman takes out some would-be spies, and then, once again, Ubu does the same thing to him, and Batman's like, strike two. And then they go to some, like, place in the mountains, and then it's the one time where Ra's lets him go ahead, and then, like, Batman faces the Panther, and then there's a funny gag where they're leaving this, like, room or whatever, and he's like, please, after you. And then they end up in, like, this plane, which, Batman, jumps out of it. He sees that Ra's is sick. He hears something about a little pit, which, if you're a fan of Batman, you know the Lazarus pit and such. So then he goes, and then he jumps out of the helicopter, and then it blows up, and you think Ra's and Ubu are dead, even though they're not really. He goes and he finds Robin, and it turns out the whole thing was orchestrated by Ra's al Ghul because he wants an heir. He wants somebody to take his place. I mean, he won't give it to Talia, I guess because she's a chick, but he wants somebody to succeed him, somebody worthy. And like, this is basically, this whole thing was a test, because he heard about Batman. Batman's already met Talia al Ghul, and then he's like, hey, you're the only person worthy enough to, like, take over my empire. I want you to do this for me. And it's just like, well, Batman he doesn't work like that, but, like, Ra's wants him to. That's kind of like the conflict with him and Talia and the whole thing. Because, like, Talia wants to be with him, but, she was raised in, the League of Assassins, or the League of Shadows, or whatever they're called in this particular episode. Just Ra's al Ghul and his minions. So, and then, like, Talia shows up, too, and you find out, like, she was in on it, too, never really kidnapped. And then Ra's is like, I want you to take my place. And, like, you already met my daughter. And there's, like, this awkward pause between them, and then she's like, my daughter loves you. I'm like, loves him? I mean, she only met him for one episode. She loves him? I mean, unless she's, like, really, I mean, they didn't really, like, set that up well enough that she, like, loves him. If she appeared in maybe, like, one more episode and they really started to form a connection, but, like, that would have been, something. But, like, I mean, if she liked him, that's one thing. He's like, my daughter loves you. Like, loves him? What the fuck is that? You spent, like one, like, episode with her and Off Balance, but, I mean, I guess that's enough. Or maybe she just maybe she's been following him around, she really liked him. Maybe they interacted outside of this episode, but I guess not. And then we get that funny bit where Ubu, like, Batman's kind of crossing, he's trying to walk away, and then Ubu comes up to him, and it's like, the Master didn't tell you to leave, and then he tries to punch him, he's like, that's 3, and he kicks Ubu's ass. And then Ra's declares Batman an enemy because he doesn't accept his offer, and he's like, he felt, like, insulted. because he didn't accept it. I mean, yeah, I mean, understandable, because, like, that's kind of the way he was brought up. He's been around for a couple hundred years. And then Talia is just like, I mean you no harm. Like, my father is just doing this, and she just looks like she really wants to bang Batman, like, really hardcore right then and there. But he's like, look, I mean, it's cool and all. He's like, I need a man to assume my position when I'm gone. I don't have any sons, which you do find out he did have a son earlier on. But, yeah, so... I still don't get over that. She loves you. I mean, if they had a couple more missions, I could see it. I mean, even Batman's kind of just confused. Like, you love me? Like, really? I mean, you're pretty hot and all, but like, yeah. So dang. So he denies it. Ray starts to get sick, and then the only way to save him is to put him into the Lazarus pit, which is the first time really introducing some like mystical like elements into the show. And like Ray, she gets dumped into the pit. He comes out flying, like soaring through the air, and he breathes fire out his mouth. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. And then at the end of the episode, he's pushes Batman back. Talia tries to help him, and he's like, ha 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 ha. And he's laughing maniacally, and he's holding Talia over his head, and we don't know what's going to happen. And then that's where it kind of leads into part 2. But yeah, the Demon's Quest, like, this is like, every time I go, like, rewatch Batman the Animated Series, I always get excited. I'm like, man, I just want to get to the Ra's al Ghul stuff. At least the first 2-parter, because it's definitely one of my favorites. I always, like, when I'm, like, rewatching things, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get to this episode, because it is definitely one of my, favorites. It very well might be my favorite 2-parter outside of, like, Robin's Reckoning. I don't know, like, I hold Robin's Reckoning in such high regard. I feel bad if I think about considering putting any episode above it. But, you know, The Demon's Quest, Part 1, is definitely, I think because of the tragedy in Robin's Reckoning really sets it up. But I really like this. I think this 2-parter is just so fun and exciting. Like, not necessarily fun in a funny way, but, like, it's just like an epic adventure. Kind of like an Indiana Jones movie, if I had to compare it to anything. Like, there's no, like, Ra's al Ghul isn't threatening the world or anything in this episode. He just wants to see if Batman's worthy. That's kind of where the second part comes in. So, which I'm getting ready to watch, and I'm excited to, because I love these episodes. And, yep, that's all I got to say. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I look forward to rewatching part 2 right now, getting that out of the way. And until next time, which will be very soon, pretty much right after I do this, I'm going to record this next part. I'll talk to you all later, okay? Yeah, I'll have a good one now. Peace out. Bye-bye. Comment, like, subscribe.